Using this endorsement of Network Health.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
We're not just after any old fish. We want the catch of the day.
Diving and making an incredible catch is Isaac Collins.
The Brewers host the Marlins in Milwaukee.
With the best record in baseball in their back pocket.
Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts today at 2:35 on the home of the Brewers. News Radio 620 WTMJ Milwaukee.
Good morning, 10:01. We're at 70 degrees. We are under an air quality alert for another hour. In fact, much of southeastern Wisconsin under that air quality alert. It's going to be partly cloudy, humid today with a high 78. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Connie Weber. Decision Wisconsin. One major state Democrat has announced her run for governor, while another big player is teasing his own run.
I have an announcement. I'm running for governor.
Lieutenant Governor Sarah Rodriguez is in, announcing her run for the state's highest office less than 24 hours after Governor Tony Evers declared he would not seek a third term. Meanwhile, Milwaukee County Executive David Crowley says he will take steps towards entering the race, quote, in the coming weeks. On the Republican side, Washington County Executive Josh Schoeman and New Berlin businessman Bill Berrien are the only two officially declared candidates. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
In Madison,
the defendant also gave NR the ability to enter that gun safe by telling her how she could find the combination.
the father of the Abundant Life Christian school shooter bound for trial. 43-year-old Jeffrey Rupp now faces 3 felonies, including intentionally selling a dangerous weapon to a minor and contributing to the delinquency of a child. His 15-year-old daughter, Natalie, used one of 2 legally purchased guns in the mass shooting at Abundant Life Christian School in December of 2024. 2 people died in that shooting, 1 teen still recovering in the hospital. Rupp now has been out of custody since posting bail in May. A shooting at a University of New Mexico student housing complex has left 1 person dead. There's a shelter-in-place order for students, and the university said the suspect remains at large, may still be on campus. 1 other person was shot and suffered non-life-threatening injuries. Longtime Jeffrey Epstein associate and convicted sex trafficker Ghislaine Maxwell expected to have a second meeting today with Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche. This after a 6-hour marathon interview in the Tallahassee Federal Courthouse Thursday. On the South Lawn this morning, shortly before his departure for Scotland, President Trump wouldn't answer for reporters if he was considering possible clemency for Maxwell.
Todd Blanche is a great gentleman. He's a great man. He's a great lawyer. He's got a great heart. But he's over there now. I don't know exactly what's happening, but I certainly can't talk about pardons.
After the first meeting, Maxwell's lawyer said his client answered all the questions and answered them honestly. Trump administration, of course, continues to face pressure from both sides of the aisle to release files connected with the convicted sex offender. Orders for durable goods, a leading indicator of the health of the economy, fell back in June after a blockbuster May. ABC's Jim Ryan has the latest numbers.
The key barometer of the manufacturing sector soared in May, largely on a surge in orders for commercial aircraft. June found orders settling back down, though, decreasing by $32 billion, just over 9%. But take out the transportation segment, and orders for durable goods actually rose slightly last month.
President Trump became the first president to visit the independent Federal Reserve in nearly 20 years Thursday, ramping up the pressure on Chairman Jerome Powell to lower interest rates. Another round of wildfire smoke could affect air quality in southeast Wisconsin. Storm Team 4 meteorologist Brendan Johnson says the smoke is currently stuck over northern Wisconsin, but could move south along the lakeshore.
The DNR forecasts a moderate yellow category air quality for today for southern Wisconsin. However, if there is a high enough concentration of smoke and it does move down the lake towards Milwaukee, that could certainly impact our air quality.
Air quality alert again in effect until 11 for much of southeast Wisconsin. We'll have the complete 5-day forecast coming up in less than 5 minutes. Right now, time for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Dow is up 105 points. NASDAQ up 39. S&P 500 is up 15. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 10:05.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for Inspired Closets, something that can positively affect your mood, getting organized and clearing out the clutter. A well-rounded closet could be the most powerful room in your home. Inspired Closets can transform your closets or laundry room, your pantry, any space in your house. What separates Inspired Closets from the others? Their 3D design software and a culture that promises to build what you want and need. Call my friends Katie and Dan today, a wife-husband team ready to help. Inspired days start in Inspired Closets. InspiredClosetsMilwaukee.com.
Looking for a totally rad flavor adventure, brochachos? Look no further than Surfer Boy Pizza as seen in Stranger Things. Each mouth-watering variety contains rich tomato sauce, delicious mozzarella cheese, and a gnarly range of toppings. The crust is crispy on the outside and airy on the inside. You'll think it was hand-tossed by the Surfer Boy Pizza dudes themselves. Look for it in the freezer aisle at your local store and buckle up your taste buds with Surfer Boy Pizza.
Hola! Get ready for Germanfest, carnival style. Sink your teeth into Spanferkel, cheer on the tiny racers at the Dachshund Derby, and dance the night away with Vox Club, Juhe aus Tirol, and top bands from around the country. Don't miss the colorful parade, and on Saturday night, wear your best costume for the masquerade ball at the Miller Stage. Eat, drink, schunkel, and make it your tradition at Germanfest. For more information and online tickets, visit Germanfest.com. Hola!
We believe that self-care isn't selfish. I'm Maddie from Sweet Talks, a women-owned and operated medical spa fostering self-love and confidence. We believe that beauty is about feeling empowered from within, and it's truly a passion for our team at Sweet Talks. Your goals are our goals. Our services go beyond injectables, including facials, lasers, medical weight loss, hormone therapy, and more. There's even a cafe, complimentary to all patients. Get started today at Sweet Talks in Menominee Falls. Learn more at sweettalks.com.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Brewers began a 3-game series against the Marlins tonight. Milwaukee took 2 of 3 games from the Marlins earlier this month. An alumni home run derby will take place at American Family Field after tonight's game. It's part of the celebration of the ballpark's 25th anniversary. And the Packers continue their training camp schedule. They play their first preseason game at home against the Jets August 9th. Take a look at the roads now with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. The left lane north of Silver Spring Drive on southbound I-43 in Milwaukee County was closed due to a crash. All lanes are open now, but there may be some slowing in that area. Also some slowing I-41 southbound Highway Q to the Zoo interchange. Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Air quality alert in effect for another hour for Fond du Lac, Dodge, Sheboygan, Washington, Ozaukee, Milwaukee, Waukesha, Racine, and Kenosha counties. Partly cloudy, still humid today, 78 for the high. Chance of showers and storms tonight with a low 68. Scattered showers and storms tomorrow. Otherwise warm and humid, high 82. Sunny, hot and humid Sunday, high 86. And then a chance for showers and storms Monday morning, continuing into Tuesday. Monday's high 90. Tuesday's high 84. 74 in Madison and Green Bay, 70 in Milwaukee. I'm Connie Weber. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 10:08.
Broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue. It's time for Point Taken. Here are your hosts, Steve Scafidi and Kristin Brey.
Hello, hello. Happy Friday. Steve is still at the pool in Vegas, having a, what is he, a banana daiquiri? That's his thing. Yeah, banana daiquiri.
Seriously? That's his thing?
That's his pool drink. That or a Negroni.
We're not going to let him hear the end of that.
I'd up the Negroni. There you go. All right, that is the voice of Republican strategist Bill McCoshen, and in for Joe Zepecki is Democratic Representative Deb Andraka. Welcome back.
Great to be here.
It's been a minute since we had you here.
It has been, yeah. So nice to be back in the studio.
Comes in on a slow news week,
I know,
too.
super slow
Nothing going on.
News in Wisconsin.
Earlier we were thinking, what are we going to talk about? Now I know.
Now,
as of yesterday.
Yep. And we knew exactly. That was what was funny. It was like trying to touch base on Monday to talk about what we're talking about Friday. Never works.
Nope.
Yeah.
Never works. You always got to do it
Wisconsin.
hours before. All right. Well, of course, we have to start with Tony Evers announcing yesterday that he is not running for a third term. Now, a week ago, I think you were 50-50, Bill? Is that what you said on air?
Yeah, I originally thought he was going to run, but then I saw his finance report and I thought he was not. Mm-hmm. It was a lot less likely that he was going to run. And Joe Zepecki, my colleague here, he was convinced he was going to run, so I want the world to know that. Because every once in a while, Joe and I get some things wrong here, but I was not totally surprised when he announced yesterday.
Well, it was also a little bit of a slow roll because I think both on this station and another station last week, almost exactly a week ago, there were some predictions of sources telling different radio hosts as far as what was going to happen. And I will note, if you look at when the video was uploaded, it was last week.
Was it?
Yeah.
Good catch.
Oh,
And so
I didn't catch that either.
Yeah. So that is a little bit of an interesting as far as deciding to push it out another week. But
you get those details. Yesterday, she told me I liked my own little text to these guys, which I didn't realize.
All right. So I guess let's just, because of course we're going to spend a lot of time talking about some of the announcements that have already come up this morning of who is going to run for the Democratic seat, the Democratic ticket. But before we do that, just any reflections on the legacy of Tony Evers, or even just about how he went about announcing that he's not running. We'll start with Deb.
I loved his announcement, his love letter, and it was who he is. He's just very genuine. When I was elected in 2020, I have not served under any other governor, and he is the person who you think he is. He's very warm. He's very genuine. I remember I was at a bill signing once, and my daughter was in the Capitol visiting me, and I said, hey, come to this bill signing. You could see the governor. He saw her, took time out, asked her all these questions about what she was studying and what she was majoring in college. And I think that comes through on the air. I think it comes through on TV, and it comes through in person. So I'm just really grateful that we had someone like that who was guiding the state. He did a great job navigating unbelievable Republican opposition, and he was still able to maintain his integrity. And it's just been an honor to serve under him. I think there should be more people like him in politics, quite frankly.
So one of the untold things about Tony Evers is he will leave politics undefeated. Yeah, he's 5-0 in statewide races. He won 3 times for superintendent of public instruction, 2 times for governor. If you look at public figures in Wisconsin who have been undefeated at the statewide level, it's a pretty small list. Yeah. Tony Evers is at the top, 5-0. Tammy Baldwin is 3-0, and Ron Johnson is 3-0. Those are it. And with
as
more
far as
than,
current or ever?
Ever. Well, for 3 terms. No, some served in 2-year terms longer than that.
Yeah, because I guess Tommy lost for Senate.
Tommy lost for Senate. He served almost 4 full 4-year terms as governor. So, it's a big thing. And he was able to get 4 bipartisan budgets done through the legislature. Mm-hmm. A lot of Democrats thought he should have vetoed some of those or vetoed more things in those, but ultimately he was able to get those things done. So, and I think in this last budget, we questioned whether it was a reelection budget or a legacy budget. Turned out it was a legacy budget. He got the things that were most important to him, from special ed to child care to UW system. He got those things funded. And so, I think for him, riding off while his health is good, his wife's health is good, was a smart move. Not enough politicians do that. They hang on too long. We've talked about that a lot on this show over the last couple of years. It's, I don't know about term limits, but I'm more for mandatory retirement agents. I don't think we need any more octogenarians in Congress or in the legislature. So, I wish him well and thank him for his service.
Yeah, absolutely. I think as I was reflecting on it last night, I was thinking of his video and similar how he said, 50 years of service. And I think, Deb, as you said, as far as the kinds of people that you want to be in office are people who think of themselves as civil servants first. And I do think he seems like a reluctant politician instead of being a politician first. And we do need more of those.
He turned out to be
people.
very good at politics.
Yeah. Yes.
There were a lot of people who underestimated him when he won the governorship. They thought, well, he was superintendent, big deal. That's not really a political job. And they questioned whether or not he had the political chops to handle a boss and that kind of thing. He did.
Absolutely.
And did well.
But there were moments as far as he could have let the Supreme Court pick the maps. And he decided not to. There were certain things where he could have been party first.
Correct.
And I think he put Wisconsin first. And when I think about it, I think that's what his legacy will be.
He always put Wisconsin first. And getting back to what I was talking about with the opposition, his very, very calm outward demeanor. We seem to like our governors who come across as genuine, but also a little bit like oatmeal.
Holy mackerel.
Holy mackerel.
Ice cream cones.
Exactly. I put that in my statement.
I reposted a video of me with like him talking about brats and holding a brat.
But what impressed me, I mean, being in the legislature, it's just this constant battle and fighting. And, even before Governor Evers was sworn in, there was a lame duck session. They were out to get him. And he never let it, at least outwardly, you never saw that get to him, right? Mm-hmm. And so I think that's something that I was super impressed with, because I know my first term, I was like, oh my God, this is a whole lot worse than I ever thought it would be. But from his perspective, I think he had his North Star. He was always the people of Wisconsin. I'm going to do the best I can. It was, sometimes it wasn't good enough for many of my colleagues, but he did what he could under extraordinary circumstances, and Wisconsin is an awful lot better for it.
Absolutely. All right. When we come back, who's next? We already got one out of the gates. A lot more that are probably going to get out of the gate.
So many.
So let's talk about the open primary, first since 2010, after this.
Networks, streaming services, retail chains, and tech giants are all adding plus to their names. But where did the concept originate? We may be biased, but we think these big wigs found their inspiration for plus at Hasselist Mattress. Hasselist showrooms are employee-free. Give your mattress a try with no pushy sales guy. Plus, our 35 beds from the top 5 brands start at $393. Plus, unbeatable prices on Tempur-Pedic. Plus, free next day delivery and setup. Plus, free haul away and disposal of your old mattress. Plus, 60-month interest-free financing on select Tempur-Pedic with approved credit. Plus, a $300 MasterCard gift card with your Tempur-Pedic mattress. Plus, a ruggedly handsome spokesman with a smooth radio voice. Get all this, plus a whole lot more when you shop at Hasselist Mattress. Or maybe we should change our name to Hasselist Plus. Nah. Open 9 to 9. Find an employee-free showroom near you or shop online at Hasselist.com.
All personal injury law firms essentially cost the same. When you receive a settlement or win a verdict, we take 1/3 as our fee. If you get nothing, we get nothing. But one law firm has recovered more million-dollar results than any other firm in Wisconsin. We have handled and won the largest cases in state history. And we cost the same as every other personal injury firm in town. Habish, Habish & Rotier. National reputation, hometown service. Visit Habish.com for more information.
It's the best 11 days of the summer. The Wisconsin State Fair is back.
All of the best food concoctions, the entertainment that gets you moving, and of course, WTMJ broadcasting live from the Wisconsin State Fair.
Come see your favorite WTMJ hosts and shows live from the Bank 59 studios just north of the Expo Center.
Live from the Wisconsin State Fair, we are Wisconsin's radio station.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
We are Wisconsin's radio station, WTMJ.
Welcome back to Point Taken. I am Kristin Brey. Steve is on vacation. He'll be back on Monday, and we are doing a different kind of political power hour with Bill McCoshen as usual. Devin Draka, representative, is here as well. And so let's talk about the open primary, no incumbent, first time since 2010 when Governor Doyle decided not to run again. Let's start because it's the biggest news of the Democrats that are going to get in. Now, Lieutenant Governor Sarah Rodriguez already announced this morning. She's actually going to be on the show later today, so I'll get to talk to her a little bit. But we also know that David Crowley, Milwaukee County executive, didn't announce, but it was like, I'm planning to announce in the next couple of weeks. He announced his announcement, basically. Also, I think I saw Fox 6 ask Mandela Barnes, and he said he's considering it. So I think this is going to be, I don't know if we'll get to the level of 2018. What was that? Was that 15 or 18?
10.
It was only 10?
10 on the Dem side.
It was only 10 on the Dem side. For some reason, I thought it was closer to like 15 or 18. So do we think we're going to get 10 this time?
I don't know. There's a lot of people out there right now, and there's probably more people going to come out of woodwork. So,
all right,
don't have any perspective on
Bill,
that.
you wrote a list. Who's on your list?
So on the Democratic side, Sarah Rodriguez, Lieutenant Governor's in. For the listeners, the last lieutenant governor in Wisconsin to actually get elected governor was Warren Knowles in 1964. We've had 2 ascend to the governorship, Marty Schreiber and Scott McCallum, but the last one to actually use the lieutenant governor position as a springboard to become governor was more than 60 years ago. It's a long, long time. David Crowley, Milwaukee County Executive. I think he'd be a strong candidate. Josh Call, the Attorney General's won statewide twice. Does he get in a crowded field or does he stay in the AG's race, which is the latest rumor about him? Ben Wickler, former party chair, who is literally the best fundraiser of any state chairman anywhere in the United States of America. He can raise the dough. Mandela Barnes, former lieutenant governor, former U.S. Senate candidate, barely lost to Ron Johnson. Kelda Roys, little known fact about State Senator Kelda Roys, she actually won the straw poll in the 2018 Democratic Convention. She beat Tony Evers there and then got crushed in the primary. Tony got more than 50% against 9 opponents.
Wow.
But she won.
I did not know that.
She won the straw poll. Yeah, at the state convention. So I expect to see her in. And then state representative, very progressive member Ryan Clancy has bought Clancy for governor.
Did you check that or did you read that?
I had somebody send that to me. Yeah, somebody. Yeah, I got people.
Because he was only elected to the assembly. He's 1 term. This is his 2nd term right now?
2nd term.
Yeah.
I think he would try and fill the progressive lane. Remember, there are a lot of progressives who are not very happy with what the governor ended up with in the budget. Here's the reality. There's split government. Good, hello. Yeah. But I think Sarah Rodriguez tried to fill that lane pretty well with her introductory ad today. And by the way, on timing, since you're so good at this, you ought to check when her ad was made, because I doubt it was yesterday.
When it was uploaded?
Yeah, I doubt it was yesterday afternoon.
Oh, that was a pretty good video.
It was pretty good first video to be 7 a.m. this morning.
If that was one take, I'm super impressed. So
it was one take, wasn't it?
So I think that's
because it's just her
current
walking.
List on the D side. Rep. Andraka would know more.
Sarah Godlewski's not on that list for you?
She's not, because she, as I understand it, is more interested in the 2028 U.S. Senate race, and she's now the 3rd vice chair of the Democratic Party. So if Joe Zepecki were sitting here today, he would tell you she's not getting in.
Okay.
I would view her as a strong candidate, but I don't believe she's getting in.
Okay.
Well, I'm just grateful
agree or disagree on any of those?
I am grateful for this embarrassment of riches, because we have a lot of really, really strong candidates who are pretty much ready to run. And so that's not something that we've always been able to say on the Democratic side. Wisconsin's a very competitive state, and I've always said that competition is what makes good candidates, which is why I'm very against gerrymandering, and we need candidates who know how to run, who are attuned to their constituents, and who are ready to hit the ground running. So I do have one bone to pick, however, with the people at the Journal Sentinel. So if you could tell them for me, when they listed they called them their top tier candidates. They listed 3 men, and they left off the lieutenant governor, Sarah Rodriguez.
Oh, she wasn't on the top.
She was not listed as a top tier candidate. So shout out.
She is a top tier candidate.
She's definitely a top tier candidate.
Did Dan Bice write that article?
I don't know.
He would know better.
So which was shocking to me. Just shout out for more women running for office first and foremost. So Sarah, I was elected with her in 2020. We were the 2 who flipped districts. She is really smart. She's got a great healthcare background on joint finance at all the hearings. Healthcare was probably right up there with education, the 2 issues that Wisconsinites care about most. She is really experienced on that, and she's running on it, and I think she should. So that, I think, is a really great lane for her. So county executive. Yeah, I was with them. There was an event in my district last night with the governor and the county executive. There are more TV cameras than I think the people who organized it were ever anticipating. So kudos for them for getting some really good publicity for the brown deer. But yeah, I love working with him. He has done amazing things for Milwaukee. I think he's a perfect spokesperson for how Milwaukee can be an economic engine for the state. So I think he is going to be a great candidate. Attorney General Josh Call, he has been amazing. I ran first and foremost on better gun laws, and he has been a great partner. And anytime I have had a question, he has taken positions and has been right out there championing, making sure we get safer communities. So that's just my personal interaction with him, and he has been great. So.
All right, let's take a quick break, and then when we come back, we'll talk about how this changes the Republican field and who else we can expect to get in now that it is an open seat. So he is Bill McCoshen, Deb Andraka. I am Kristin Brey, and this is Point Taken.
When people think sleep apnea, they think CPAP. Now at Advent, we do all we can to help sleep apnea sufferers avoid the CPAP machine. And most sleep apnea sufferers who come to Advent are going to be able to avoid a CPAP altogether. Our unique Advent approach using simple in-office solutions can get your nose working and throat open all under one roof. You see, the root of every snoring and obstructive sleep apnea problem lies within the throat, nose, or both. At Advent, we know when we get the nose and throat working properly, most snoring and sleep apnea problems will subside. And we have the most simple and convenient, ultra-effective in-office solutions that can do just that. And this is why people have traveled by planes, trains, and automobiles from corners of the world you would never think of to find the sleep apnea and snoring relief you won't find elsewhere.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Most insurance accepted.
What makes Ben Ben is that he's very, very detail-oriented.
That's Arvid Huth from Penny Mustard Furnishings, talking about his brother, Ben.
The details to me matter. The smallest detail needs to be right, and there's no reason it can't be right. To me, a room needs to be clean, and there's no reason a room can't be clean. A room should be organized. A warehouse should be organized. There's no reason why it shouldn't be organized. I'm a fanatic on some of those things. And Arvid would roll his eyes at me. You know, that little dust is no big deal. But to me, I'm like, nope, that needs to be cleaned up.
He's so passionate about the quality of the furniture. Those details are his details. It's important for that furniture to be built perfect.
Every little detail matters if you're going to have people and a company and a culture where what we deliver to that customer is absolutely the best thing we can bring to that customer. Everything we do to get to that point that the customer never sees needs to be done to our best ability.
But in the end, I have always learned that the details won't take care of themselves. Ben will take care of the details. So that's been a blessing.
PennyMustard.com.
It's WTMJ's Debbie Lazaga for Comfort Awnings. This summer, I'm getting relief from the hot sun whenever I need it with my motorized retractable awning from Comfort Awnings. Sensors are also available that detect strong wind and rain to extend or retract your awning. They even protect against UV radiation so you can safely enjoy the outdoors all summer long. Family owned and located in Burlington, Comfort Awnings expertly installs custom awnings that fit your home and style. Right now, you can receive $250 off all awnings and screens. Call 414-AWNINGS or visit comfortawnings.com.
Crew Tuesdays are back on July 29th.
Churio sends it deep to left, and there she goes.
Catch the Brewers on local TV as they battle the Chicago Cubs.
And Yelich launches one deep right center field. Forget about it. Oh, my goodness. Third deck.
This edition of Brew Crew Tuesdays is presented by Delta Dental of Wisconsin. Tune in July 29th at 6:40 on Fox 6 in Milwaukee, or check out your local listings to watch the game.
Welcome back to Point Taken. I am Kristin Brey. We are here with Republican strategist Bill McCoshen and Representative Deb Andraka, talking about what happens next as we prepare for the midterms and now an open primary, open seat for governor. And let's talk about Republicans. So we have Bill Berrien. We have Washington County Executive Josh Schoeman. Who's next? Because I imagine now that it's Tony Evers is not running, there's more people who are going to get in.
So former Governor Scott Walker teased this yesterday.
Teased or trolled?
45, 47?
Maybe trolled. He was the 45th governor. He put out the Trump hat, 45, 47, as if maybe he would want to be the 47th governor. I think that is a troll. I don't think Scott Walker's political career is done, but he's not going to run in 2026. I wouldn't be surprised to see him run in 2028 for United States Senate if Ron Johnson chooses not to run for a fourth term. But he's a fairly young man. He's a 56-year-old guy. He's won statewide twice before. He's a pretty darn good fundraiser. He won't be a candidate in this race. Tom Tiffany, congressman from the 7th District, which is up north of 29, Highway 29, trolled yesterday or teased that he's thinking about it. Tom's not the strongest fundraiser. Well-liked by conservative groups like the Americans for Prosperity and Hunter Nation and things like that. But, how he would sell in the suburbs remains to be seen. And can he raise the money? At the end of the day, you need three things. You need money, organization, and message, to win statewide races. And, Tom's always struggled on the money side.
Is that just why? Is it because of his district?
It takes a lot of work. You got to pick up the phone. You got to call people you don't even know and ask them for $20,000. That's not everybody can do that.
I don't know if
right?
I can do
I
that.
mean, truthfully, the best in history on our side was Rebecca Clayfish. She had more max donors than any statewide candidate in history.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure her record will ever be topped. I think she had 175 people who had given her $20,000. Pretty impressive. So Clayfish's name comes up. Does she get back into politics? I don't know. I'd be surprised. Mary Felskowski, senator from northern Wisconsin. She's the Senate president. She's the one who voted no on the state budget and then announced that she's the first Senate president ever to vote against the state budget. Was that a precursor to her running statewide? I don't know. We'll see. I don't think she gets in if Tom Tiffany gets in. And then I think there's a player to be named later. I think because it's an open seat, you're going to see somebody else, maybe more than one person, get in this race who nobody's talking about right now.
Interesting. You think that's on the Democratic side, too?
The list is growing, and that's why we keep checking our phones to see if anyone else has announced.
All right, more to come, but news is next.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. On his way to Scotland to discuss tariffs and to visit his golf resorts, President Trump said he could, but he has not given thought to pardoning Ghislaine Maxwell, the only convicted co-conspirator of Jeffrey Epstein. ABC's Mary Bruce is at the White House.
Ghislaine Maxwell is someone who is serving a 20-year sentence, a conviction for sex trafficking that she has tried to appeal. This is someone who wants to get out of prison and who initiated this conversation with the Justice Department. She's eager to talk. The question is, what is she willing to tell them, and what is the administration willing, if anything, to give her in return?
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis says deportation flights have begun from that immigration center set up in the Everglades. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says his government is considering alternative options now to ceasefire talks with Hamas after Israel and the U.S. walked out of discussions in Doha on ending the war, citing a lack of desire on the part of Hamas to reach a truce. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 1031. I'm Connie Weber. One person dead after a crash near a railroad crossing south of Waupun. Driver struck a trailer on Highway 151, starting a chain reaction with other vehicles stopped at the crossing for a passing train. Driver of the first vehicle died at the scene. Both other drivers were not hurt. Another Milwaukee public school now clear of lead dust. Brown Street Academy was given approval by the Milwaukee Health Department. The school was one of two MPS buildings that had yet been cleared of lead dust when students were sent home for summer break. Westside Academy finished its lead decontamination earlier this month. Brown Street Academy, the ninth school to be cleared of lead dust since January. A Wisconsin-based manufacturer has unveiled its newest facility in Dodge County. Generac's 345,000 square foot manufacturing plant in Beaver Dam is its largest in North America. Located in the Highway 151 Business Park, the facility will produce commercial and industrial generators. Milwaukee Business Journal reports the Beaver Dam site already has 130 employees with plans to hire another 190 by the end of the year. Time for news about your money in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Dow up 64 points, 44,758. NASDAQ up 57 at 21,115. S&P 500 up 16 points at 6,379. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Take a look at the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. We have a disabled vehicle blocking the right shoulder. This is going to be at I-41 North at Howard Avenue. Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast and air quality alert until 11 p.m. today for Fond du Lac, Dodge, Sheboygan, Washington, Ozaukee, Milwaukee, Waukesha, Racine, and Kenosha counties. Partly cloudy and humid today with a high 78. Chance for showers and storms tonight, low 68. Scattered showers and storms tomorrow. Warm and humid, a high of 82. Sunny, hot, and humid Sunday, 86 for the high. Chance of Monday morning showers and storms, then mostly sunny, hot, and humid, high up to 90. And a chance of rain and storms again Tuesday with a high of 84. 75 in Madison and in Green Bay, 71 in Milwaukee. I'm Connie Weber. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 1033.
Here's to time out on the water in Wisconsin. To living your best life while enjoying the lake life.
Ready?
And getting up on a wakeboard the very first try. Or not. Here's to wearing only swimsuits and wishing this perfect day would never end. Here's to those who Wisconsin. Start your summer getaway at travelwisconsin.com.
see you out there making the most of every moment, one big bright idea at a time. At Blaine's, we're glad to be part of it by offering best-in-class products and solutions at unbeatable farm and fleet prices. Like select name brand tires, buy 3, get 1 free for rewards members. 15% off select brakes, steering, and suspension parts. Save $50 on real truck roll-up truck bed covers. Plus, we offer Blaine's best price promise, guaranteeing the lowest price with us or we'll match it. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Being original.
Haven't you just had it with overpriced, overrated fish fries? Don't pay $16 or more. The Mine Chef restaurant in Hartford's all-you-can-eat haddock fish fry is $7.99. WTMJ's John Mercure here. After a long week, don't cook. Relax with a cold beverage and a Friday fish fry for $7.99. The kids' menu starts at $3.99, and they can safely play in that huge game room away from the dining area while you finish up your meal. The Mine Shaft is super family-friendly. Your Saturday steak or prime rib dinner is under $25. Sunday brunch is under $15, far less than what you'll pay elsewhere. The Mine Shaft in beautiful downtown Hartford and near the EAA in Oshkosh. Lots of seating, close parking, and a very friendly staff. Just walk in today for your all-you-can-eat beer-battered haddock fish fry for $7.99, serving from 11 a.m. Get there early. It's big food. It's big fun. It's the Mine Shaft. Check out mineshaft.restaurant.com.
Welcome back to Point Taken for our political power hour this week with always here, Bill McCoshen, Republican strategist, and filling in for Joe Zepecki, Representative Deb Andraka. And so I wanted to give Deb a chance to talk about...
Coming
out of the bullpen. A chance to talk about your thoughts on who could run for the Republican, now that Tony Evers has dropped out, who might also get into the Republican race. I know Bill listed off some names.
Well, I don't know who else might get into, but of the people who have either teased or teased a tease, Scott Walker's probably the most interesting one with his 45-47. I mean, that is kind of a weird coincidence.
Right?
But that is a weird coincidence.
He's kind of a weird guy,
up.
though. So if he does run, I really want to see the campaign launch at Foxconn. And maybe we can paint the dome gold to kind of attract the president, because that's it's a good image. Big empty field, something shiny in the middle to distract people. So that would be fascinating. Bill,
isn't he making like $700,000 at YAF?
More.
So it's like, would you really walk away from especially? I also love that YAF is not nearly as effective as Turning Points, and yet someone's paying him that much money to run it.
That's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah. So Bill Berrien, he's my neighbor. So
is
also,
he really?
He lives in Whitefish Bay. So Whitefish Bay, 2 square miles, until he declared, I'd never heard of him. So as a constituent, I would like to ask him to, if he got ideas on state government, I'm all ears. So I have constituent office hours most Fridays and would love to have a talk with him and find out what he's all about, because, I hadn't heard of him, and Whitefish Bay is not that big. Also on the list, Josh Showman. I cannot hear his last name without hearing The Greatest Showman and have it going over and over in my head. I don't know if he's a fan of musicals, but the campaign almost writes itself. He's Washington County executive, and I know he is a friend of Steve's, and I've heard him on this show an awful lot, but running Washington County is a lot different than running the state. There are other bigger counties, more diverse counties that people are running who might make a better candidate than the head executive of Washington County. Let's just leave it there. And Tom Tiffany, I really can't wait for women in the state to look at his record, because he wanted to throw women who wanted to get an abortion in jail. So hopefully that writes off a big chunk of the female vote. And he hasn't really heard a conspiracy theory he doesn't like. So, for me, it's a weaker bench, but we're going to wait and see if more people come out, and I'm sure that they will sooner or later.
Deb had her rundown.
She did. She was well prepared. Of the 3,
of the list,
Showman has a base. Tiffany has a base, but it's not as important in a primary where his voters come from as Showman's is. And Washington County is a top 10 county on the Republican side, and it's here in the Milwaukee media market. So, if you do well in Southeast Wisconsin in a GOP primary, you're going to win the primary.
Well,
full stop.
We had Michaels, who was from New York, and we had Hovde, who was from California. So at least he represents a Washington County.
I mean, that's the thing. At least everyone right now, including Bill Berrien, who's the wealthiest of the actual candidates and potential candidates, lives here.
I think he's had a rocky start.
He has
Barry,
had a rocky start.
And truthfully, I don't know where his base is. To your point, you live in the same community and you don't know who
2
he
square
is.
miles.
So he's like obviously not an active member of the community.
Not that I've seen.
Interesting. My big question right now, I think, is how big of a role does Donald Trump play in this?
On our side, it's everything.
It's
Whoever
everything.
wins the Trump endorsement wins the primary. Full stop. There is no question about that. And for people to pretend that that's not going to be the case, they don't understand today's GOP politics.
But can MAGA win statewide if your name's not Donald Trump?
Yeah, I think they can, especially in an open seat. If you run the right campaign, I think you can win. I thought Tim Michaels could have won with a better campaign. And, they chose to run something very narrow on crime alone, which was not smart. And he didn't inoculate himself on abortion. There were a lot of flaws in that campaign. But I think it's a winnable race in 2026 as an open seat. No question about that.
And then, Deb, for the Democrats, because I said this, I think it was earlier this week, as far as so much of the Democratic messaging in the era of Trump has just been anti-Trump. How much do you feel like Democrats that are going to run have that be part of their messaging versus being for something and actually having a platform as far as how we're moving forward?
I think it's a great opportunity because Trump's not on the ballot, so we don't have to be talking about him. Sure, I mean, he is everything and everywhere on the Republican side, but without Trump on the ballot, this is the Democrats' opportunity to get out there and start talking about what really matters. The cost of living is a big one, and to finally define themselves as being something other than not Trump. So I think it's a great year for Democrats in that regard.
Except he plays in the Dem primary, too. He fires up their base. If you look at Sarah Rodriguez's ad, her first point today is we got a maniac in the White House.
I know.
That's her very
it was
first
an
point.
interesting point as far as
Deb knows this better than me,
him.
but there are a lot of primary voters on the Democratic side who don't think Democrats are fighting hard enough. So somebody's going to have to try and fill that lane.
So who's, I asked this off air, but I'll ask it on air. Which primary gets uglier?
Well,
especially if it gets crowded.
I mean, we're not very good at primaries on our side. I mean, Michaels and Clayfish destroyed each other, and the Clayfish people basically sat out the general election.
Yeah.
They took their ball and went home, and that was the difference in the race. So I'm a big fan of primaries, always have been. To Deb's point earlier, I think they test the organization. They test your ability to raise money. They test your ability to build an organization and ability to communicate a message. And so I think those are all good things. But on our side, we are too consultant driven on the Republican side. So at the end of the day, a lot of those consultants are looking for paydays. They get paid based on how many ads are placed. So they're going to destroy that other person because there's more money to be made in the general election than there is in the primary.
And I would like to see Democrats hold their fire and make sure that we all have the correct target, because as we saw after the budget, awful lot of Democrats came out and were pretty much savaged Governor Evers, and that is not where our ire should be. I think he did the best he could in a really difficult situation, and so we need to remember that once we're all talking about each other in a primary. So I would like to see Democrats talk about the issues that matter to them, what makes them the best candidate. That's the way primary should be, because we have an awful long runway between now and the primary, and then generally a pretty short time
Very short.
to the general.
Yeah,
that's
sure.
it. I would love to see that changed. I think that's something we can
Me
both
too.
agree on.
Yeah.
Which we talked about that last week. It
was changed.
It was even later. It used to be in September.
When Tommy Thompson won the gubernatorial primary in 1986, it was in September, the second Tuesday of September.
We have to have one of the latest primaries across the states, right?
Well,
We do.
now-
I'd like to see it in May.
With so much early voting in districts like mine that we have like a 98% voter turnout, you have about 60% of the people who have already voted by the end of September.
Right.
So if the primary is early August, you have precious little time
About
to
a month.
reach them before
Yeah.
they're sending in ballots. So that's
Yeah.
something that's got to get fixed.
All right. Well, we'll have plenty to talk about now. That's what my joke has well been. It's like, for media people, this is great. This is going to be super fun. All right, stay with us. It's Point Taken.
WTMJ, Steve Scafidi here. Will rates go up or down? We'll know more on July 30th. That's when the Fed announces its next rate decision. Join Annex Wealth Management's chief economist, Dr. Brian Jacobson, for Instant Insight at 3 p.m. on July 30th. Instant Insight is when Annex goes live after important announcements like the Fed's announcement to help explain what it means for you and your money. When it comes to your financial future, a bit of expert insight could help you understand what's going on. Register now at WTMJ.com or events at AnnexWealth.com. July 30th at 3 p.m. live after the Fed announcement. Management.
Hey, it's Vince Vitrano from Wisconsin's Morning News. It's baseball season, which means Brewers 360 is back every day at 8:40. Sponsored by Outdoor Living Unlimited. Every day, all season long, we're joined exclusively by Brewers guests, including manager Pat Murphy and more. So Murphy, as we're wrapping up our interview.
Great talking. We really enjoyed it, okay?
I was like, you did? Is he just in a good mood, or what'd y'all do to Murph?
Brewers 360 is sponsored by Outdoor Living Unlimited and Big Fish Contracting.
Visit family-owned Ken Michaels Furniture and our in-store design centers where you'll still find beautiful, luxurious, heirloom quality American-made furniture. Right now, save 30 to 35% store-wide and take advantage of our complimentary design services. Whether you're moving, renovating, or updating, our designers will help your vision become a reality. Visit Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield on Capitol Drive and in Greenfield on Highway 100 to save 30 to 35% store-wide today. Sleep better and save more with mattresses from Milwaukee Mattress and Ken Michaels Furniture. Handcrafted in our Milwaukee factory, our mattresses utilize natural materials like cotton cushioning, which dissipates body heat, Joma wool quilts for warm wintry nights and cool summer evenings, and natural latex providing superior conformability and pressure relief for aching joints. Stop in today at any Ken Michaels Furniture store and save up to 50% compared to national brands.
If you have not experienced the historic Fox and Hound Supper Club, please do this weekend. WTMJ's John Mercure here. Friday, the all-you-can-eat haddock fish fry is one of the best, especially with an old-fashioned. This Saturday only, enjoy an 8-ounce char-grilled tenderloin filet with 8 Cajun shrimp, potato, super salad, and homemade bread with honey cinnamon butter for just $64.99. And that's for 2 dinners. 2 world-class dinners for $64.99, plus desserts are always buy one, get one free. I love their homemade desserts. From scratch, delicious. Relax with a cocktail on the patio in the woods, then your free dinner. The Fox and Hounds, just off Highway 167, 2 miles east of the beautiful Holy Hill Shrine. The summer drive is a must-see. This Saturday only, enjoy 2 tenderloin and shrimp dinners for under $65. Dinner starts at 3. Arrive early. All other dinners are buy one, get one free every single night. It's a special place. It's the famous Fox and Hounds. Call and reserve today.
Hey, Wisconsin, are you feeling summer? Then it's time to feel cheesy. It's time to feel good. July 31st through August 10th, only at the Wisconsin State Fair. Presented by U.S. Cellular.
Welcome back to Point Taken. All right, we're going to do our newly minted
Say Something Nice.
Say Something Nice. So we have Bill McCoshen here, Republican strategist and Representative Deb Andraka. And so, Deb, I think you're familiar. We just introduced this last week.
I heard it and I love it. I
Great.
really do.
So if you were not listening last week, just to catch you up, this is a new segment we're doing where Bill and Deb, next week it'll be Bill and Joe, each have to come up with something that happened this week that the other party did, either as a party, the candidate, an elected official, that is a genuine, sincere compliment, not a backhanded compliment, just as, in the name of bipartisanship. And so we're still working on we're calling it Say Something Nice. This is Steve's rendition of it.
Say something nice.
And,
he screams from the pool.
He screams. He's like, get along. Don't make me pull this car over. All right. Deb, we'll start with you because you searched for this.
Did. Well, I am familiar with what's going on in Wisconsin and the Wisconsin legislature, but wanted to make sure there wasn't anything that I was missing on the national stage. So, I searched the news, and of course, one asked ChatGPT. So I just wanted to read this because it was kind of funny. So I asked, what is something kind that a Republican did this week in Wisconsin? It says, thought for 4 seconds. I wasn't able to identify any specific stories from this week in Wisconsin featuring a Republican performing a notably kind or altruistic act, such as community service, bridging partisan divide, or supporting humanitarian efforts. That's not to say they're not out there, but I just thought that was kind of funny.
It's kind of funny.
My something nice will be to the Senate Republicans, because during the budget, this was the first time that Senate Democrats were actually involved in negotiations. And so I don't think this is the start of a beautiful friendship, and Senate Democrats were brought in at the very last minute, but we can start to see what some bipartisan cooperation could look like on the state level. Assembly Democrats not involved, but if we can finally get all of our districts into our fair maps and we have these evenly divided chambers, I would like to see more people coming together in the middle, compromising, and as our current and soon-to-be former governor always says, do what's best for Wisconsin, not any individual political party. So it's a glimmer of hope.
All right.
My Say Something Nice is about Tony Evers. He's, like I said earlier, 5-0 in statewide races. He was the superintendent of public instruction. He's been a 2-term governor here. He's gotten 4 bipartisan budgets. But I think the lesson for Republicans on Tony Evers is what he didn't do. He didn't engage on every single issue. And I've said on this show many, many times, most people can't handle politics 24/7, 365. Tony Evers seemed to understand that. And he engaged when he thought it was important, and he let the noise just pass. And he didn't. And I think that's one of the reasons that his poll numbers were consistently between 49 and 53 his entire time as governor, which is pretty rare. I mean, they weren't as high as Tommy Thompson's were when he was governor, but they were the highest of any state politician the entire time he was governor, and they continued to be today. So my hat tip is to Tony Evers for a 52-year public service career, and thank you for everything you've done for the state.
Great. That is very nice. See?
It's not that hard.
It's not that hard. It's not that hard to pay a compliment. All right, when we come back, we will do a grab bag on Point Taken.
As host of the Fix-It Show, I've talked to countless homeowners worried about musty basements, water seepage, and foundation cracks. And my answer is always the same. Call Accurate Basement Repair. They're not just Wisconsin's #1 rated foundation and waterproofing team. They deliver real peace of mind. I've recommended them for years because I know the quality of their work. And more importantly, the integrity behind it.
Wow, we're grateful for that trust, David. Every home we restore, we treat like our own. And that's what Accurate is all about.
They're not just good, they're accurate.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. We are really going to have some fun celebrating our great state this Saturday at 1 o'clock. It's Experience Wisconsin. We kind of spin you around the state, from the Mississippi to Lake Michigan, from the Northwoods all the way down to the border with Illinois, introducing you to some people, places, and things that you need to check out this week on the show. I'm really excited. It is Visit Beloit, and it's Racine County. It's Experience Wisconsin, Saturdays at 1 right here on 620 WTMJ.
Dr. Aaron Holtebeck and his team at Holtebeck Eye Center make vision care a top priority. They are your premium provider for eye care and corrective eye surgeries. Dr. Holtebeck has been helping local patients with their eye care needs for over 20 years. Dr. Nausheen Abbas joined the Holtebeck Eye Center team last September, and her practice philosophy is to provide patient-centered medicine by giving all options. Located in Brookfield near the corner of Calhoun and Capitol. Learn more about their services at holtebeck.com.
It's there all day, and it never goes away. I hate pain. It robs us of so much. But if you take action today, your pain could be gone tomorrow. Because at Rejuvenex, we harness the power of Toradol and hyaluronic acid to calm the inflammation and cushion joints. Rejuvenex treatments are safe, they're FDA approved, and in most cases, insurance, including Medicare and Medicaid, pays for them. At as low as $65 per injection per joint, our treatments are affordable. It's not a gimmick. It's pharmacological medicine administered in office in a simple and convenient manner. And with it, our patients have been able to avoid risky surgery and begin to stop the onset of arthritis. I'm Rejuvenex founder Richard Salinas, and here we've made pain treatment as easy and affordable as it can be. Go to rejuvenex.com to request your free pain evaluation.
Looking for an e-bike? Shop Wheel and Sprocket and find rows and rows of bikes in a bunch of different styles and colors for you to see, touch, feel, and even test ride.
Visit wheelandsprocket.com for a location near you.
Life is short. Enjoy your ride.
Looking for a smarter way to grow your savings? Town Bank has you covered with 4.20% annual percentage yield on our 7-month CD special. This limited time offer won't last forever. Stop by your local Town Bank or visit townbank.us/radio25. APY assumes funds remain on deposit until maturity. Minimum daily balance of 1 cent required to obtain APY. Offer subject to change at any time and without notice. Additional terms and conditions apply. Details at wintrust.com/radiocd. Member FDIC.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station. All right, since we got most of the politics out of our systems, let's finish up with some grab bags.
All right, grab bag time of stuff that you just want to give a shout out to this week. Bill, you seem ready to go.
I do. I'm going to give a shout out to my former boss, Governor Tommy Thompson, because as a result of Governor Evers' announcement yesterday that he will not seek a third term, Tommy Thompson will remain the only person in state history to ever be elected to a third 4-year term. And more than that, he actually was elected to a fourth as governor.
Yeah.
And this will make my parents roll over in their grave when I say this, but I ran that campaign, so I will remain the only person who's ever run a campaign for a successful campaign for a third 4-year term in the state of Wisconsin. McCoshen says with a smile, as his parents are saying, "Billy, we taught you better than that."
Because your
a hat
parents were
trick?
like lifelong Democrats, right?
They were. My mom was the only Republican she ever voted for was Tommy Thompson.
Wow.
My dad was a Reagan Democrat.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Deb.
For me, it's a shout out to Wisconsin State Parks. This is the 125th anniversary of the Wisconsin State Park System. I serve on the Forestry Parks and Outdoor Recreation Committee, and this is when we all get outdoors, right? It's just peak outdoor season. We're really, really lucky to have our state park system. We've got a couple of really popular ones. I encourage everyone to go some of the lesser known ones all throughout the state. One of the things that came up in the state budget was the Knowles Nelson Stewardship Program. It didn't make it in the state budget. I probably hear more about Knowles Nelson than I do any other subject from my constituents. It's extremely popular, and it was very disappointing that it wasn't included in the state budget. I know there's a bill out there to make sure that we're funding it. Given that our state parks are seeing record attendance and that more people are enjoying them than ever, I think it's important that we pass that bill. And just a big shout out to everybody who works in the state park systems and keeps them top shape as best possible. So.
Absolutely. Yeah. My grab bag is come down to Milwaukee this weekend. It is one of those weekends. There's so much going on.
Brewers are home.
Brewers are home. River West 24 is happening, which is a 24-hour bike race, and it's the people's holiday. Joe Zepecki will be volunteering at German Fest. There's Brew Fest. There's Brady Street Fest. I saw a great TikTok this week that was advice to suburban parents in Milwaukee or in the Milwaukee area as a reminder to get your kids to Milwaukee and show them different cultures, lots of diversity, and just be able to experience all we have to offer. So
peak summer.
All right. Bill
Fun being
McCoshen.
on with you, ladies.
Bill McCoshen, thank you so much. Representative Andraka.
It's been a pleasure. Thanks for the invitation.
We'll have
Good
you
to see
back.
Bill.
All right. We'll have news, and then we'll come back for the second hour of Point Taken.
Loyalty, family. Few things are more important. This is WTMJ's Steve Scafidi and Loyal Family Renovations. They saved the day after a brutal storm in Oak Creek. Hail damage, yeah, I had a lot of it. But Jeff, Jake, and the whole team, absolute pros, made the entire process smooth as can be. Let's be honest, not everyone knows how to deal with adjusters. They handled all the questions, quick answers, top-notch customer service. In just 2 days, my roof was done. If storm damage hits, call the team that made it easy for me. Loyal Family Renovations. Visit loyalfamilyrenovations.com.
Get ready for German Fest Carnival style. Join us for a weekend filled with food, fun, music, and culture on Milwaukee's beautiful lakefront. Sink your teeth into authentic Spanferkel, brats, pretzels, and sweet German pastries. Bring the whole family to cheer on the tiny racers at the Dachshund Derby. It's a crowd favorite. Tap your toes and raise your stein as you dance and schunkel to live music all weekend long. Catch Vox Club, Juhe aus Tirol, and an incredible lineup of national and local bands. Watch the colorful carnival parade with music, dancers, and costumes you won't want to miss. On Saturday night, don your best costume and join us for the Masquerade Ball at the Miller Stage. Come for the music, the food, the dancing, and the memories waiting to be made. Eat, drink, dance, and make it your tradition at Germanfest. For more information and online tickets, visit germanfest.com.
Hi, I'm Jim Token, representing the auto dealers of Metro Milwaukee. Did you know that Adam member dealers employ more than 6,500 people? Plus, Adam recently completed their 15th annual Feeding America Change Your Oil campaign. To date, Adam has donated over $953,000, which provided over 3.8 million meals. Start your next car search by finding an Adam member dealer at adam.com. That's ADAMM.com.
Scorching hot at the plate.
Teoscar's at the wall. It is gone, and the Brewers are right back in front.
Lights out on the mound.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Double-digit strikeouts for Quinn Priester. He's got 10.
And burning up the standings.
The best record in baseball belongs to Milwaukee.
The crew are on fire. It's the Brewers and the Marlins in Milwaukee. Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts today at 2:35. We are the home of the Brewers, WTMJ.
When you speed, you have less time to react. Follow the speed limit to keep other road users safe. Speeding catches up with you. Paid for by NHTSA.
Built Right Furniture, Leather, and Mattress.
You gotta get to Built Right today.
We're not just after any old fish. We want the catch of the day.
Diving and making an incredible catch is Isaac Collins.
The Brewers host the Marlins in Milwaukee.
With the best record in baseball in their back pocket.
Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts today at 2:35 on the home of the Brewers. News Radio 620 WTMJ Milwaukee.
11 o'clock, we have 71 degrees. We're under an air quality alert until 11 p.m. Fond du Lac, Dodge, Sheboygan, Washington, Ozaukee, Milwaukee, Waukesha, Racine, and Kenosha counties included in that. Otherwise partly cloudy, humid today with a high of 78. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Connie Weber. Decision, Wisconsin. One big Democratic name has thrown their hat into the ring for governor. Lieutenant Governor Sarah Rodriguez formally announcing her candidacy for the position this morning. Meanwhile, Milwaukee County Executive David Crowley says he will formally declare his candidacy in the weeks ahead. A 22-year-old Cedarburg man facing 3 felony charges after allegedly assaulting 2 underage boys at Cedar Creek Park.
Riley Morrow is accused of luring the boys under a bridge, slapping one of them, and exposing himself. The Journal Sentinel reports police used surveillance footage, witness statements, and a tip from Morrow's mother to identify him. Morrow later admitted to parts of the incident. He's being held on $250,000 bond and is due back in court August 25th. Nizer Spencer, WTMJ News.
President Trump sidestepping questions about whether he'd grant a pardon or commutation to the only person serving time for a role in Jeffrey Epstein's sex trafficking of minors. She's been speaking with the number 2 at the Justice Department, and a House committee has subpoenaed her testimony.
Before he left for a long weekend at his Scottish golf resorts, the president was asked if he's open to clemency for Ghislaine Maxwell.
Well, I don't want to talk about that.
Trump pointed to the ongoing conversation between Maxwell and the Deputy Attorney General, his former defense attorney. ABC's Mary Bruce asked the president,
"Can you trust what she's telling him? She's a convicted trafficker who's eager to get out of prison."
Well, you know, he's a professional lawyer. I think he's been through things like this before.
Todd Blanchard said he hoped to ask Maxwell whether she thinks anyone else should be charged in the trafficking. Stephen Portnoy, ABC News, Washington.
Former Republican Congressman George Santos of New York reporting to prison today. He pleaded guilty to federal wire theft and identity fraud and was sentenced to 7 years and 3 months behind bars. He's also been ordered to repay more than $370,000 to his victims. The U.S. and Israel broke off talks with Hamas this week, accusing the group of not acting in good faith. This, as experts warn, conditions on the ground in Gaza continue to worsen. Here's ABC's Maggie Rulli.
The breakdown of these ceasefire talks is coming as we're getting these near daily warnings this entire week from more than 100 NGOs. The latest from Doctors Without Borders is worth repeating those numbers that they came out with. Doctors Without Borders now saying that 1 out of every 4 children and pregnant women screened at their clinics are malnourished, accusing Israel of using starvation as a weapon in Gaza. Just today, there's been 9 new deaths from starvation in Gaza that were recorded, bringing that total to 122 deaths from famine and malnutrition, including 83 children.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says his government is considering alternative options to ceasefire talks with Gaza. Brown Street Academy is the latest Milwaukee public school to be cleared of lead dust.
9 schools in the district have now been cleared by the Milwaukee Health Department. Brown Street students and staff were temporarily relocated to Andrew Douglas Middle School back in May. MPS says the relocation was precautionary. No Brown Street students were identified as having elevated blood lead levels from the school. The district is working toward eliminating eliminating all lead dangers from schools built before 1978 by the end of this year. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
Time for news about your money in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow is up 50 points, the Nasdaq up 61, S&P 500 up 15. Financial planning at every level, Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Sports, traffic, and weather up next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 11:04.
At Abbey Home, our mission statement is making lives easier. Let us make your life easier by custom designing the bathroom to fit your needs so you can stay in your home longer. We will make your shower system safe but stylish by taking out your old tub, and you'll be able to walk right into your new shower. We'll add grab bars, a stationary seat, and glass doors that'll make your new bathroom a stylish success. Right now, get a free shower door with all bathrooms and payments as low as $98 a month. If somebody asks you if you know a guy in the business, you can say no, but I know a girl.
Veterans, have you explored your benefits lately? The Wisconsin Department of Veterans Affairs stands ready to serve Wisconsin veterans, their families, and their survivors. With our partners like your local county veteran service officer, we can help access the benefits you've earned and the support you need. For more information, please visit wisvets.com. That's wisvets.com. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Department of Veterans Affairs with funding provided by the Milwaukee Brewers and the Brewers Community Foundation.
We see you out there making the most of every moment, one big bright idea at a time. At Blaine's, we're glad to be part of it by offering best-in-class products and solutions at unbeatable farm and fleet prices. Like select name brand tires, rewards members can buy 3, get 1 free, and get an extra $20 instant savings. Purple Power Automotive Aluminum Brightener, just $9.99 a gallon. And 1-pound bags of Dot's Homestyle Pretzels, $5.99 each. Find value on the things you value. Blaine's Farm and Fleet, being original.
I'm Matt Dorner, CEO of Milwaukee Downtown Bid 21. Our business leaders value downtown Milwaukee.
That's right, Matt. It's a great time to be downtown. I'm Jim Popp, President and CEO of Johnson Financial Group. Our associates love being downtown. They love the energy, the activities, and the business opportunities that you'll only find here in downtown Milwaukee.
Get down to business at milwaukeedowntown.com.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Brewers are back home. Milwaukee will begin a 3-game series against the Marlins tonight. Milwaukee took 2 of 3 games to the Marlins earlier this month. And the Packers continue their training camp schedule. They play their first preseason game at home against the Jets on August 9th. Taking a look at the roads now with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. We have a disabled vehicle. It is off right, just blocking the shoulder, not a lane. This is going to be I-94 West at the ramp from Mitchell Boulevard. A little bit of slowing I-41 both north and southbound from Highway Q to the Zoo Interchange. Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. There is an air quality alert in effect until 11 p.m. tonight for Fond du Lac, Dodge, Sheboygan, Washington, Ozaukee, Milwaukee, Waukesha, Racine, and Kenosha counties. Partly cloudy, humid today with a high of 78. Chance of showers and storms tonight, mostly cloudy with a low 68. Scattered showers and storms tomorrow, otherwise warm and humid with a high of 82. It's going to be sunny on Sunday, hot and humid with a high of 86. Slight chance of showers and storms Monday morning, then sunny, hot, and humid again with a high up to 90. A slight chance of showers and storms on Tuesday, partly cloudy with a high of 84. Right now in Madison, we have 76 degrees, 76 in Green Bay as well, and 71 in Milwaukee. I'm Connie Weber. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 11:08.
Broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue. It's time for Point Taken. Here are your hosts, Steve Scafidi and Kristin Brey.
Hello, hello. Welcome back to the 11 o'clock hour of Point Taken. Steve is on vacation. If you're just joining us, he will be back on Monday. I have not heard from him yet, so I'm sure he is enjoying himself immensely. He and Kathy are in their happy place. Later this hour, we are going to hear from Lieutenant Governor Sarah Rodriguez, who right at 7 a.m. this morning announced that she is running for governor. So I'm excited to hear from her near the end of the show, around 11:45. So we are going to have some fun. Well, are we going to have fun? Maybe I shouldn't say that, because I'm trying to figure out how to frame this, because I know, what do you care about more? Let me put it that way. Like, if you had to pick one, Do you care more about seeing the Epstein files, those getting released and having transparency with that, or Social Security benefits eroding over the next 7 years and it doubling the senior poverty rate? I'm not trying to say that I know that we can do two things at one time. I want to believe that our elected officials can chew gum and walk at the same time. But to me, it is a very obvious as far as which one is more consequential to more people, which one actually has impact on more people, and which one scratches an itch. Not to make too little of it, but there is one that is getting so much more coverage than the other. And we're going to talk about both. But let's start with the one that is in the headlines every day. And there is new developments every day. And that is the Epstein files. Because now, as of this morning, the DNC is now running ads for the Epstein files, for encouraging constituents to demand of their representatives to vote for releasing the Epstein files. So there is, and two are in Wisconsin. So there's 11 different districts that the DNC is targeting with these ads. And in Wisconsin, the two, as you might imagine, are Brian Stiles' district and Derek Van Orden's district. And so they're digital ads. So you're probably not going to see them if you're just watching TV. But if you're watching a Charlie Kirk video on YouTube or a Ben Shapiro video or other right-wing YouTube channels, that's where they're placing these ads. And so there's two different ones. One features old footage of President Trump socializing with Epstein. We've seen a lot of those lately. And the other features Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene describing the influx of calls her office has received about the Epstein files so far. And then both have the directive in text over the footage saying, demand that your representative release the Epstein files. Obviously, now we're in the situation where on Wednesday, Mike Johnson called the House into its summer recess early, blaming Democrats for politicizing the Epstein issue. Democrats then accused him of avoiding votes on the Epstein-related bills that they claimed would pass. So this is an issue that this is like basically the first issue that Democrats have been able to sink their teeth into and actually get some footing and leverage over Republicans in the last, since last November, honestly. And while Mike Johnson has had representatives go to recess already, one attempt that the Democrats used that did work is the House committee voted to subpoena the Department of Justice for the files also on Wednesday by the help of 3 Republicans. So this subpoena calls for the Epstein files in the Justice Department's possession to be provided to Congress, but the names of the victims will be redacted. And it also calls for the communications between former Biden officials and the Justice Department related to the Epstein matter, in addition to depositions among some major figures, including Bill and Hillary Clinton and former FBI Director James Comey. So we don't know when that subpoena is going to be issued, but that could lead to something. And it's interesting. So I'm starting to get some of the text in right now as far as someone from the 262 says transparency, because if Trump is involved, maybe we get another other legislation through that makes up for his egregious agenda. I don't know. And another one says, I'd rather hear more about the Epstein files only because the Republicans that are in charge right now have shown they're willing to screw us in every way possible financially. But here may actually be some interested in revealing the truth on the Epstein case. So there you go. I mean, that's only 2 texts, but it is interesting as far as people's, I don't know if it's, because I think where I'm struggling is there's a fascination with understanding it and also, I mean, holding people accountable, especially if there is information of our current leaders being involved. I was seeing something this morning as far as, well, Bill Clinton might be in there. I don't know a lot of current Democrats who care. I'm sure Bill Clinton cares, but I don't know that, I'm not having to like turn in my Bill Clinton hat or like my Bill Clinton merch because someone I worship is now in the Epstein files. Like there's, you know what I mean? And so the fact that there's a lot less at stake for somebody to find out that there's certain Democrats who are no longer in power who are on that list than for people who have, you know, very strongly subscribed to MAGA. And so, like I said, you can do two things at the same time, but it is interesting to me as far as if we were to get the list. And I was reading this, there was Bill Levins, who was spent decades basically prosecuting or covering the case for the Epstein case for decades. He wrote an op-ed in the New York Times, and he did list out like the open-ended questions that these files could answer, which include how did Mr. Epstein make his money? Because we don't really know how he accrued so much wealth in such a short period of time. Did he have any ties to spy agencies? Are there more references to President Trump in the files that add to our knowledge of their relationship? Like I said, was Bill Clinton involved? Who were other clients implicated in this sex trafficking operation? But like, so there's these questions that people want to know, but I'm also wondering, like, who does this help besides getting justice for victims? Is it just holding people accountable? Is it like, what is the end game here of if they get released, what do we as the public get from that? Beyond, like I said, I think I said it earlier in the show, beyond it's scratching an itch. Like I don't know how this moves the needle for us as far as solving actual problems that we're facing, like Social Security running out. Because I feel like this is something I read this week that no one really talked about. And that it's basically recipients are set to face an $18,000 benefit cut in less than a decade, in 7 years. And I don't know if I'm naive to think that this is a much bigger deal and was going to impact way more people. And we should be talking about it. So we are. We're going to talk about more about that and what the details of that are after this on Point Taken.
Hi, Mitzi. What's the news from Kessler's in Brookfield?
Everything's smooth like butter. We're all just marching to the beat of the big bass drum.
That sounds like fun.
Your email said you wanted to talk about 32 things. What are they?
The 32 things are rare and special engagement rings.
Tell me more.
Each one of these amazing rings is just waiting for someone to choose the center stone.
What about the side stones?
All the side stones are Kessler 81s.
81 windows exploding with light instead of just 57 windows that are modestly glowing like most other diamonds.
We have 16 rings in 18 karat gold and 16 rings in platinum.
All they need is a center diamond?
Yeah, and our prices on natural center diamonds and created center diamonds are incredibly low right now.
Each store has a beautiful assortment of these rings?
Yes, and they're priced from just $900 up to $3,900.
Good job. Keep marching to the beat of that big bass drum, Mitzi.
I'm excited.
For the location of the Kesslers nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Ready to join the fun? With Girl Scouts extended year membership from Girl Scouts,
you can sign up by June 30th and get up to 18 months of adventure through September 30th, 2026.
Girls starting kindergarten or first grade in 2025 will also receive 3 Get Ready with Girl Scouts activity books
featuring games, crafts, and stories the whole family will love for free. Plus, you'll even get a special gift from the Girl Scouts. Join today and get ready to grow, explore, and shine with Girl Scouts.
When you're at State Fair this year, be sure to check out the Bank 5-9 main stage featuring amazing acts like Boys to Men, Gabriel Fluffy Iglesias, and Darius Rucker. Tickets are on sale now. Bank 5-9 is a proud sponsor of the fair and a proud supporter of the local Wisconsin communities they have served since 1859. So grab your bucket of lemonade or beer, something on a stick, and join Bank 5-9 between July 31st and August 10th. Member FDIC.
Welcome back to Point Taken. I am Kristin Brey. Steve is out till Monday, so you're stuck with me. But as we're continuing to talk about what the biggest story is this week, well, I guess there's competing bigger stories depending on where you get your news from. Obviously, on one side, the fact that the Epstein file, demanding to see the Epstein files, is not going away for the Trump administration. And I guess if you're watching different news, the introduction of Obama being implicated with Russiagate and Tulsi Gabbard what am I trying to say? Basically declassifying information, I guess, as far as the fact that Obama tried to steal the election. There's a lot of people who think that is going to lead somewhere. I imagine that it won't. But the thing that we're not talking about, which I think is a big deal. I mean, listen, being in my age, in my late 30s, I have long suspected that I will be one of those people who paid into Social Security and will not get Social Security but I am also a long ways away from retiring. I'm also lucky enough to be in a position where I am saving as though I can save as though I will not be getting Social Security benefits. But we are quickly approaching the case where a lot of people who maybe were going to have to depend on that in the very near future are not going to be able to rely on it. So retirees are facing the prospect of substantial Social Security cuts in just 7 years. So that's a lot sooner than it was projected. And this is partially due to the big, beautiful bill. And so this comes out of analysis that came out this week. Actually, it just came out yesterday from the Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget. So if our lawmakers don't stop this from happening, it would at least double the poverty rate of America's seniors. That's not good. So basically, the analysis projects that 24%, there's going to be a 24% cut of benefits by late 2032, which is equal to an $18,000 annual benefit cut for a dual earning couple. And so you may also experience reduced healthcare access due to an 11% cut in Medicare hospital repayments. And those percentages would grow over time as the population ages and fewer young people are paying fewer Americans in general are paying into the system. And so I know I'm more of a policy wonk and I like getting into things like this that are not as easy to hold on to when you're looking at headlines. But Social Security is arguably the most popular government benefit. Most Americans either receive benefits or know someone who does. And the vast majority of Americans believe it is important to keep Social Security. And so, this could just be kicking the can, and policymakers think that they'll do something eventually, that maybe Congress, there's no way Congress would just sit back and watch benefits get cut like this. But what is the pressure to have them act ahead of time? Is this something they're only going to do something about literally at the 11th hour? And I think the reason that happens is because we don't talk about this, because we just get so busy talking about the Epstein files. And I know, and I am getting a lot of people texting in right now saying why transparency is important. And I totally believe that, and why this is good for the Democrats to be able to leverage. Obviously, that's coming from Democratic or liberal leaning people. But I just find myself in the camp of trying to want to focus on the things so less people get hurt. And it just seems like if we don't figure out something to do to fix Social Security, a lot of people will get hurt, especially at a time, because also this week, Wisconsin Watch had an article saying 1 in 5 suicides in Wisconsin is older people. And just the increasing obstacles and pressures older people are facing between isolation, debt, lack of retirement funds, And Social Security running out certainly isn't going to help any of that. And so call me crazy for wanting more people to be talking about this, or at least, like I said, be able to chew gum and walk at the same time. So, end of rant for now. Stay with us. It's Point Taken.
Are you worried about running out of money in retirement? Wondering about how to pay less taxes? Join me, Tony Drake, for the Retirement Ready Show, live every Saturday at noon and Sunday at 7 a.m. on WTMJ 620 or 103.3 FM. We'll talk about smart strategies to help you retire with confidence. Don't miss it.
Drake & Associates LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates LLC does not provide legal or tax advice. Past performance is not indicative of future performance.
The Brewers return from the break with a jam-packed week of action. First up, a summer battle with the Marlins, July 25th through the 27th. Come for the action, stay for Pokemon Go Day on Friday the 25th, and a Bryce Terang bobblehead on Saturday the 26th, presented by Wintrust, Wisconsin's bank. Then, it's time to battle back when the crew takes on the Cubs for 3 games starting on July 28th. Get tickets for a week of Brewers action you don't want to miss at Brewers.com.
Paying you to live more comfortably. A deal you do not want to pass up. Vince Vitrano for USA Insulation. They will insulate your walls from the exterior. No disruption inside your home. Blow and loose fiberglass in the attic, plus air seal everything. Most homeowners feeling a difference within 24 to 48 hours. And with government rebates, you could save 40 to 60% or more. No work for you to do. USA Insulation will process everything. Visit usainsulation.net. Start saving today.
USA Insulation.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
A buck doesn't buy much unless you're spending it at Griffin. For just $1 over cost, you can buy brand new tires from us. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand, $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. We'll even show you the invoice to prove it. Our only requirements, we put them on for you. Buy one or the whole set. The dollar deal from Griffin. Milwaukee, Waukesha, Fort Atkinson, and Jefferson. Griffin. The buck stops here. The deals on tires don't. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers.
Crew Tuesdays are back on July 29th. Churio sends it deep to left, and there she goes. Catch the Brewers on local TV as they battle the Chicago Cubs. And Yelich launches one deep right center field. Forget about it. Oh, my goodness. Third deck. This edition of Brew Crew Tuesdays is presented by Delta Dental of Wisconsin. Tune in July 29th at 6:40 on Fox 6 in Milwaukee, or check out your local listings to watch the game.
Welcome back to Point Taken. I am Kristin Brey, going to read some of your texts in response to my thoughts as far as being 7 years away from Social Security benefits being cut, and how that will never be as sexy or as, I don't know, discussed, demanded as the Epstein files have become. Luann from West Dallas says, why are taxpayers shelling out money for universities like Harvard, one of the wealthiest colleges? Why are taxpayers giving money to build baseball stadiums when a lot of these same people cannot even afford a ticket? Very poor decisions from our government employees. I would say that to a certain extent, the baseball thing is one thing. I do think that we should fund colleges, especially when you think about Harvard and the amount of research that they're doing. And I think that is a big thing, is that we don't always calculate, is when we talk about cancer research or other diseases that many of us, I think you have a 1 in 3 chance of getting some kind of cancer. And so the treatment that could save your life or extend your life could be being researched right now. And so it's a good thing to be funding research institutions like Harvard or UW-Madison. But the baseball thing, I do think when you have billionaires owning professional sports teams and taxpayers having to foot the bill, and I understand that there's revenue that comes from it, but it's a whole thing otherwise. From the 414, Kristin, remove limit on income subject to Social Security taxes. No early benefits before 65 or 67. Raise payroll tax a little. Yes, there are absolutely solutions out there for fix Social Security, including the cap, which I think is it 165 or 175? That anything after that, you don't have to pay Social Security on, which, is great if you're making a lot of money, but certainly doesn't help. It's because even if yes, that is certainly a quick way to fix it, but we'll see if there's actually the political will to do it. Also from a different 414 number, the government is willing to cut Medicaid now. Why wouldn't they be willing to cut or reduce Social Security? It'll be interesting to see if there is any political, because we've said before the fact that the Medicaid cuts and the work requirements don't really kick in for a little while until 2027. And so if there will actually be political ramifications for that, because it is something that I think about a lot. Like, I'm going to try to squeeze this in before we go to the news. As far as voters connecting the dots, because in Missouri, I don't know if Steve and I haven't talked about this yet, but they voted to have paid leave and they voted for all these I'm not going to be able to get to it. We'll come back to it. For now, ABC News is next.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. In Florida, the Justice Department meeting for a second day with Jeffrey Epstein's co-conspirator, Ghislaine Maxwell, who is in prison for sex trafficking. It comes as President Trump is facing mounting bipartisan pressure to release the full Epstein files. Before leaving for Scotland, the president facing reporters. ABC's Mary Bruce with more.
All of this comes in the bigger context of the president being desperate to shake this story, to move past this uproar over the FBI Epstein files that this administration so far is not fully releasing, despite promises that they would do so. Clearly, they think there is something to glean from these interviews that perhaps may politically help them finally turn the page on this.
Florida's governor says 100 detainees from the Everglades' new migrant facility, dubbed Alligator Alcatraz, have been put on Homeland Security flights and sent to other countries. Those transfers began this week. Severe heat and humidity expanding into the Northeast today, with volatile storms also expected. This is ABC News.
Or Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 11:31. I'm Connie Weber. The father of the Abundant Life Christian School shooter bound for trial, 43-year-old Jeffrey Rupp, now faces 3 felonies, including intentionally selling a dangerous weapon to a minor and contributing to the delinquency of a child. His 15-year-old daughter, Natalie, used one of 2 legally purchased guns in the mass shooting at Abundant Life Christian School in December of 2024. 2 people died in that shooting, 1 teen still recovering in the hospital. Rupp now has been out of custody since posting bail in May. 1 person dead after a crash near a railroad crossing south of Waupun. A driver hit a trailer on Highway 151, starting a chain reaction with other vehicles that were stopped at the crossing for a passing train. Driver of the first vehicle died at the scene. Both other drivers not hurt. Preventing drugs from getting into the hands of Milwaukee County jail inmates. County Board of Supervisors approved around $250,000 for new body scanner and canine units to stop illegal drugs from entering the jail. Sheriff's Office says the current scanner is outdated, and jail staff have used Narcan over 50 times to prevent overdoses. Officials believe the new equipment will improve drug detection at security checkpoints. Time for some news about your money in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Dow is up 112 points, 44,806. The Nasdaq up 98, 21,154. S&P 500 up 25 points at 6,389. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Taking a look at the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. We have a new crash. It is off to the left, blocking the shoulder. I-41 south at the ramp from Good Hope Road. Otherwise, some slowing. 41 south, some slowing from Highway Q to the zoo. Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. An air quality alert in effect until 11 p.m. tonight for Fond du Lac, Dodge, Sheboygan, Washington, Ozaukee, Milwaukee, Waukesha, Racine, and Kenosha counties. Partly cloudy, humid today, high of 78. A chance of showers and storms tonight with a low 68. Scattered showers and storms tomorrow. Warm and humid with a high 82. Sunny, hot and humid Sunday, 86 with a high. Chance for rain and storms Monday morning, otherwise hot and humid with a high up to 90. And just a slight chance of storms Tuesday, a high of 84. 76 in Madison and Green Bay, 71 in Milwaukee. I'm Connie Weber. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 11:34.
Here's to sweet summer days together with friends and family in Wisconsin. To discovering magic in every moment.
Hey, Mom, over here.
And to reconnecting through a world filled with wonder.
Wow.
Here's to supper club celebrations and dancing until the sun goes down. Here's to those who Wisconsin. Plan your summer getaway at travelwisconsin.com.
The smallest detail needs to be right, and there's no reason it can't be right.
Ben and Arvid from Penny Mustard Furnishings.
He's so passionate about the quality of the furniture. It's important for that furniture to be built perfect. Every little detail matters if you're going to have people and a company and a culture where what we deliver to that customer is absolutely the best thing we can bring to that customer. Everything we do to get to that point that the customer never sees needs to be done to our best ability.
PennyMustard.com.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. We are really going to have some fun celebrating our great state this Saturday at 1 o'clock. It's Experience Wisconsin. We kind of spin you around the state, from the Mississippi to Lake Michigan, from the Northwoods all the way down to the border with Illinois, introducing you to some people, places, and things that you need to check out this week on the show. I'm really excited. It is Visit Beloit, and it's Racine County. It's Experience Wisconsin, Saturdays at 1 right here on 620 WTMJ.
I've always believed that great service makes all the difference. At Waterstone Bank, it's more than just banking. It's personal. When I needed help choosing an account, my banker took the time to understand my needs and guided me through my options. Thanks to her advice, I can watch my money grow, knowing it's secure.
Welcome to your Waterstone Bank, where community and personal service come together. Member FDIC.
It's been 1 week since you looked at me. Cocked your head to the side and said I'm angry. 5 days since you laughed at me, saying get back together, come back and...
Welcome back to Point Taken. I am Kristin Brey. Steve will be back on Monday. We are almost wrapping up. When we come back after this segment, we're going to be talking to Lieutenant Governor Sarah Rodriguez, who announced her candidacy for governor this morning. But first, a big streak broken. The world's largest air show begins. The governor calls it at 2 terms and more. It's the Week in Review, brought to you by Outdoor Living Unlimited.
What we do here is go back.
1-0 pitch, and a line drive into center. Coming in is Perkins. He's there. He makes the catch, and the Brewers survive. The Brewers love L.A. They sweep the Dodgers in the City of Angels.
Elliot Hines is a 22-year-old grad student at Viterbo University and hasn't been seen since just before 3:30 Sunday morning.
I love this week. It's one of my favorite weeks every year. EAA Air Venture in Oshkosh is underway.
Yeah!
I was blown away, overwhelmed, to be honest with you, a little bit. The amount of people, aircrafts, the facility's amazing. I'm just excited to be here this week.
If you've got the right price, the 33-foot-long abandoned Milwaukee boat could be yours as a public auction begins.
I want in-person. Hit the better.
See, that would have been awesome.
Bid 24.
I would say it's priceless.
So I hadn't thought about Hunter Biden in a long time, and apparently
Probably since he'd been pardoned.
Is he on?
Is that the last time you thought of him?
Yeah. Now he's on his redemption tour, apparently.
George Clooney is not a actor. He is a I don't know what he is. He's a brand.
I don't need any Hunter Biden right now.
So much to talk about here with Packers president and CEO Mark Murphy. Just a few days left on the job here, Mark. You just kind of mailing it in, just grabbing your stuff off the desk. What are you doing?
Well, I'm doing a lot of interviews.
I can say that again.
Are we spoiled as Packers fans?
You said it, not me.
If they win tonight,
but then lose tomorrow and then rally and get 12 more if it's free burgers again this season.
We'll have to see about that.
The next day. Breaking ball, hit on the ground to third. Williamson up with it, throws to second in time, and the Mariners have snapped the Brewers' 11-game winning streak.
We were on the verge of greatness. We were this close.
Ozzy Osbourne passed away peacefully surrounded by his family, age 76.
A tragic end to the search for a missing woman in La Crosse.
The body of missing 22-year-old Elliot Hines has been recovered from the Mississippi River. La Crosse police say the body was found Wednesday morning near Brownsville, Minnesota.
You could see that something was there, not a log. The La Crosse team were down here quite quick. It's only 7 miles.
Milwaukee County Executive David
There's a press
Crowley.
release.
Yes. Crowley, Airport Director Brian Dranzik, and V&J Food CEO are going to celebrate the opening of the new Cinnabon in Aunt Anne's location at the airport.
Uh-oh. It's another instance of, is this news conference worthy? No!
Well, some breaking news. Wrestling icon Hulk Hogan has died at 71.
Everybody knows that Hulkamania is the strongest force in this universe.
Let me ask you something, brother. Who wants peas?
I am joined by Mayor of Milwaukee, Cavalier Johnson.
I don't want for kids in Milwaukee to go out there and say, I want to work or I want to participate in a program and then not be able to afford it, not be able to participate. I think that's something that's within our capacity.
Some breaking news. Governor Tony Evers announces he will not seek re-election for a third term. This coming just moments ago.
Whether I'd win or not has never been part of my calculus about running again.
But I'm not done yet.
I have an announcement. I'm running for governor.
Lieutenant Governor Sarah Rodriguez is in. Meanwhile, Milwaukee County Executive David Crowley says he will take steps towards entering the race, quote, in the coming weeks.
2026 is getting going pretty fast.
In honor of 25 years of American Family Field and Miller Park baseball, an alumni home run derby is going to take place.
Carlos Gomez and Ryan Braun will draft 2 teams of 5.
I'm still amazed these guys all said yes to this home run derby. I love it.
What a week, eh?
What a week.
Something is always happening on the bus.
Complaining to them about the Wi-Fi.
That's the Week in Review, brought to you by Outdoor Living Unlimited. When we come back, Lieutenant Governor Sarah Rodriguez will join us, so you'll get to learn a little bit more about her. Stay with us on Point Taken on WTMJ.
Welcome back to Ask Hasselus.
Hey, it's your favorite car dealer, Honest Eddie. Is it true that there are no employees at Hasselus Mattress?
It's true. Give the mattresses a try with no pushy sales guy. And through Monday, get additional instant savings of $248 off Sealy Posturepedic and Beauty Rest.
Son, you gotta pressure people. Like, what do I have to do to get you into a new mattress today?
Uh-oh, you're breaking up. Gotta go.
Wait, no, let me talk to my manager.
Find an employee-free showroom near you at Hasselus.com.
Fleet Farm's got a special buy 3, get 1 free deal on Cooper tires you don't want to miss. That's right. Pick out 3 qualifying Cooper tires and get the 4th tire absolutely free when you add the complete installation package with our Resolute Road Hazard policy. And if you need a new battery, get free installation with any vehicle battery you buy from us. Tires, oil, brakes, batteries, and more. Let Fleet Farm's Auto Center take care of your truck and auto needs. All at the best prices guaranteed. Cooper tire offer not available at Hastings.
I'm WTMJ's Sandy Max. What makes senior living at 3 Pillars so special? Let's hear from my friend Marilyn.
I've been volunteering for over 30 years, so I got to know the community and loved it. We have a theater, community room, and we have bocce outside. They have gardens all over the campus that the residents tend to. Quilting groups, sewing groups, knitting groups, just lots and lots of amenities. Never a boring day.
Schedule a tour today at 3pillars.org.
The open road is calling, and the ride begins at Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee. This July, you could burn rubber on a custom Harley-Davidson in the Fire Up Your Fantasy motorcycle giveaway. Play with your rewards card all July for entries. Thursday drawings for extra cash and reward play. Fire Up Your Fantasy, only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Steve and Ashley heard our radio ads over the years, and when it came time to buy their first home, they clicked on the blue button. We sent them a credit-verified pre-approval the same day and upgraded to a rock-solid, fully verified and guaranteed pre-approval shortly thereafter. We also let them know about AccuNet's property-specific pre-approval, where we might be able to include those magic words, no appraisal required. When they wrote their next offer, several $1,000s over asking to make sure someone else didn't end up sleeping in their dream home, their property-specific rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval did include that most powerful phrase, no appraisal required, and the sellers picked Steve and Ashley's offer over several others. If you think all mortgage lenders and pre-approvals are the same, think again. Go with the local mortgage lender that has the tools and know-how to help you win. We'll also likely save you $1,000 to $3,000 in closing costs for exactly the same rate as your bank. Whether you're looking to buy or refi, click on the blue button today at accunet.com.
The historic Fox and Hound Supper Club near Holy Hill is hiring experienced line cooks. Evening and weekend hours are required. You'll make real money and always be busy. Parents and grandparents, tell your kids. Inquire today. Start next week. Visit foxandhoundsrestaurant.com.
Are you or a loved one facing addiction? The Wisconsin Addiction Recovery Helpline offers free and confidential support 24/7. Powered by 211 Wisconsin, local trained specialists can help connect you with local service providers for treatment, peer support, harm reduction tools, and more. Call 211, text your zip code to 898-211, or chat at 211wisconsin.org. Help is waiting. Sponsored by United Way of Wisconsin.
It's Point Taken. I am Kristin Brey. Steve will be back on Monday. And before we get out of here for the weekend, on the phone, joining us now is Lieutenant Governor Sarah Rodriguez, fresh off a very busy morning, I have to imagine, at 7 a.m., announcing a run for governor. Welcome to the show, Lieutenant Governor.
Hey, Kristin.
Oh, there we go.
Appreciate it.
How you feeling this morning?
I'm doing well. I'm excited and nervous, and it has been a very, very busy morning.
I have to imagine. So, earlier today, we had Representative Deb Andraka on, who mentioned that you were both freshmen the same year in 2020. So I guess looking back at 2019, which is not that long ago, it's only 6 years ago, did you ever think that you would be running for governor by 2025?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And in fact, running for office was never part of my career plan in general. I just saw a broken system, particularly within the assembly during COVID, and wanted to do something to fix it. And here I am, and that is what I'm going to be doing when I become governor, is just looking for solutions for everyday problems to make sure that we can keep families in Wisconsin thriving and successful.
So as far as for anyone who's unfamiliar with your background, can you tell us a little bit more about yourself?
Absolutely. So I'm actually a nurse by background. So I spent decades of my career working within the healthcare system. I have been an emergency room nurse. I have been an epidemic intelligence service officer with the Centers for Disease Control, which means I did outbreak investigations nationally and internationally with the CDC. And I've worked in a couple of different other healthcare industries, whether it's been as a vice president of a Fortune 100 company or helping in leadership with one of the largest healthcare systems in the Midwest. Ran for assembly in 2019, and I flipped that district from red to blue. And then after that, ran for lieutenant governor with Governor Evers, and have been able to serve this state, this fantastic state, for the past 2.5, almost 3 years now.
And so when it comes to actually running for office right now, it's the political environment that we're in. So you're probably not news to you as far as the popularity of the Democratic Party not very high right now. And so as far as your strategy for your campaign, how are you going to overcome that in our notoriously purple state?
So I get it. People are exhausted with the partisanship. They're exhausted with the two-party system. All they want are real-world solutions to problems. And in my years as lieutenant governor, I have made it a priority to go to all 72 counties every single year that I have been lieutenant governor, to be able to listen to people, see what they need, what they want from their government, what they want from state government. And I'm going to continue to do that while I'm lieutenant governor and while I am running for office, to make sure I can talk to people all across the state. I will leave no door unknocked, no county unvisited. I'm going to be running for the entire state of Wisconsin to do those common sense solutions, because what I hear from folks is that they are doing everything right. You know, they have a job, they're working full time, maybe sometimes 2 jobs, and they just can't make ends meet. Whether that's being unable to afford health care, and it's not accessible, whether housing is just out of reach for them, we have a housing crisis in Wisconsin, or childcare. I mean, goodness, if you can find it, it's difficult to find, number one. And number two, when you do find it, it's as much as your rent or a mortgage. It is so expensive. And so being able to help families thrive in Wisconsin is going to be my main priority.
And so as we look at the campaign, I asked this of Deb Andraka and Bill Caution in the first hour, how big of a role do you think Donald Trump is going to play in the election for governor in Wisconsin?
Well, what we're seeing at the federal government is utter chaos, right? People, I talk to small business owners. They're having a difficult time planning for their next season. I was talking to some folks who run small businesses, different touristy shops, that they have things you can purchase for Christmas or all those other times, and they're not even purchasing right now because they're so worried about the tariffs and they're so worried about having to increase prices. They're just trying to hold on until there's at least some consistency. If we have a Republican governor in the state of Wisconsin, that chaos is going to come down to Wisconsin. And so that's what I want to make sure that we're doing, is we have some stability in Wisconsin, and that's going to come from a Democratic governor.
Do you feel like so far in these first 6 months, that's what we've gotten out of Tony Evers?
Absolutely. You know, Governor Evers has been fantastic. He has really set us up for success with his 2 terms, and you know, I'm ready to knock it out of the park. I'm ready to build upon what he's done, get a budget that supports families here in Wisconsin, whether that's increasing dollars for schools, whether that's also making sure that our union members are able to negotiate and raise wages for everybody across the state. This is what I hear that Wisconsinites want, and I'm just going to go ahead and move forward and fight for what they're looking for.
So I think we're all expecting this to be a very crowded primary, potentially for both parties, but certainly on the Democratic side. And we also have a very long primary race and a late primary before making a pretty short general race. And so are you worried at all about the primary getting ugly?
I'm not. I think we have a deep bench in the Democratic Party, and we all bring different skills to the table. You know, I haven't been in elected office for as long as other people who have been serving, but I think that gives me an advantage, that I've worked outside of elected office, that I have run big divisions in private industry, that I have that experience that I can bring to the table. They're going to bring other things with them and other successes and strengths, and that's what the primary voters are going to have to weigh. Who do they want leading this state for the next 4 years?
Got it. And so what, as far as for the primary, what do you think sets you apart from some of the other Democrats rumored to be getting in?
Well, as I said, you know, I haven't been a career politician. I haven't been somebody who has held elected office for my entire career, nor was it something that I had planned on doing. Number two, I live in Waukesha County, which is a relatively red, maybe getting a little pinkish county. And so that means that I am able to speak to people from all backgrounds. I was able to flip a district from red to blue when I was in the assembly. So I'm used to having hard races. I'm used to traveling all across the state and taking that message there. I've already won a statewide race. These are things that people are going to have to weigh, and having that executive experience is going to be important because it is an executive role.
Absolutely. All right, you looking forward to State Fair?
I will be there opening day. So excited about it. Yes, I love State Fair. I go every year, and it is fantastic.
All right, we'll definitely stop by the WTMJ studios when they're there. We'll be there. All shows broadcasting live from there every day of the fair, so can't wait to see you.
All right. Thank you so much, Kristin.
Thank you so much. That is Lieutenant Governor Sarah Rodriguez talking about her announcement to run for governor. One of many, I'm sure, one of many times we'll probably talk to her over the next year and a half-ish. Year and some months. All right. Stay with us. We'll come back and wrap up today's show.
Imagine that unbelievable new deck in your backyard. Outdoor Living Unlimited is Wisconsin's #1 TimberTech deck builder. Building new decks and replacing old ones, creating that $1 million feeling every time you relax in your own backyard. Looking for a company to make your backyard scream wow? Stop by Outdoor Living Unlimited's resourceful Waukesha showroom and visit OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
It's WTMJ's Debbie Loziga for Comfort Awnings. This summer, I'm getting relief from the hot sun whenever I need it with my motorized retractable awning from Comfort Awnings. Sensors are also available that detect strong wind and rain to extend or retract your awning. They even protect against UV radiation so you can safely enjoy the outdoors all summer long. Family owned and located in Burlington, Comfort Awnings expertly installs custom awnings that fit your home and style. Right now, you can receive $250 off all awnings and screens. Call 414-AWNINGS or visit ComfortAwnings.com.
Now that you're ready to purchase a new bike, do yourself a solid by stopping by one of our Wheel and Sprocket stores to test ride an electric bike, better known today as an e-bike. And let me tell you, these bikes are a game changer because you can ride a whole lot further without even breaking a sweat. We're talking 20 to 50 miles on a single charge. So even riding uphill comes with tons of thrills. But before you decide, stop by any of our Wheel and Sprocket locations first and let us explain in detail what e-bikes are all about. And once you're here, you'll find rows and rows of bikes in a bunch of different styles and colors for you to see, touch, feel, and even test ride. After all, here at Wheel and Sprocket, we love bikes, which is why bikes are all we do.
Visit wheelandsprocket.com for a location near you.
I'm Amelia Kegel with Wheel and Sprocket. Life is short. Enjoy your ride.
Shop Tempur-Pedic mattresses at Steinhafels. Queen hybrids start at just $52 a month with 60-month financing. Plus get $300 in Steinhafels cash. Add an anti-snore adjustable base and sleep even better. Only at Steinhafels.
When you're at State Fair this year, be sure to check out the Bank 5-9 Amphitheater, State Fair's largest free entertainment venue, featuring acts like Here Come the Mummies, Hair Bangers Ball, and Pat McCurdy. Bank 5-9 is a proud sponsor of the fair and a proud supporter of the local Wisconsin communities they've served since 1859. So grab your bucket of lemonade or beer, something on a stick, and join Bank 5-9 between July 31st and August 10th. Member FDIC.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
All right, we have made it to the end of the week, or at least I have. I am, like I said, at the end of our first hour during Grab Bag. It is a magical weekend in Milwaukee as far as how much is going on, and I'm planning to soak it all in. I do want to give a quick shout out in the last 30 seconds of the show. I had some car issues this week, and my teammates really came together at Good Karma Brands and helped me out. My car had died in the parking garage, and I really did not want to have to pay for a tow truck. And so I had lots of offers to help, a lot of teamwork coming together, and it's a good reminder that it is very fun to work with good people, which includes my buddy Steve, who'll be back on Monday when we get to do this all over again. So thanks for listening, and news is next.
Hey, this is Steve Scafidi for Advent. I had some snoring issues that kept my wife up at night. That led to poor sleep and a lot of tired mornings on the radio, and nobody wants that, trust me. But it's simply, my nose wasn't working the way it should. I decided to go to